Hey guys, Miss Harris back again. This week I'm here to talk about a topic that many of you have been asking about all year long. I know as you're getting ready to be third graders, the big topics of multiplication and division come up. Everybody wants to know how to multiply and divide, and many of you already know a little bit about it. This video is going to focus on multiplication, so we're going to talk about some strategies that we can use to solve problems and what multiplication actually means. So for second grade, our job when we talk about multiplication is to think about it as repeated addition. So we all know how to add. We learned that a long time ago. Repeated, right, is when something happens again and again. So repeated addition is just adding the same thing again and again. So here's an example for you. I was walking by the pond and I saw 4 ducks. I want to know how many feet there are. Okay, so when I'm modeling multiplication, I can use lots of things. I can use beans as counters, rocks as counters, pennies, anything you have, whatever you've got at your house. I also like to draw a picture though, so that's what I'm going to do because for me it's easier to draw a picture of the situation. So 4 ducks and how many feet is my question. So 4 is the number of ducks. That's kind of like the number of groups. So these are my ducks. And now we know in math, right, I want to be efficient, so I'm not going to draw ducks and feet and all those cute little webbed, toes. So these are my 4 ducks, and each duck has 2 feet. So I'm going to draw dots inside. This is called loops and groups. The loops are like how many there are, and inside I put how many are in each group. So this duck has 2 feet, this duck has 2 feet, this duck has 2 feet, and this duck has 2 feet, right? Well, if we were to add this, it would look like 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, right? That's 4 groups of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 2s. And I know that 2 and 2 is 4, 2 and 2 is 4, 4 and 4 is 8. So that's 8 feet, right? Well, in multiplication, when we look at this, we're basically looking at the groups. So 4 groups of 2. So in multiplication, this symbol right here, this X stands for groups of. And so I'm adding that many groups that many times. That's another reason it's called times. So 4 times 2 is the same as 4 groups of 2. So I have 4 groups with 2 in each group. So 4 times 2 is 8. I also write it in words. In second grade, we take it a little bit slower just so we know exactly what we're talking about. So instead of always seeing it like this, you're going to see it in words as well. 4 groups of 2 is 8. So on some of your practice this week, you're going to see some blanks where it says blank groups of blank is blank. Well, depending on the problem, you can fill that in. Let's try another one. I'm going to just erase my work up here, and then I'm going to erase my numbers here and see if we can fill this in for my next situation. So I was walking by the barn, and I saw 5 horses. This time, I want to know how many legs the horses had. So let's think about that for a second. There were 5 horses, and how many legs do they each have? 4, right? So I'm not going to draw horses. I'm definitely not good at that. But I can draw 1 horse, 2 horse, 3 horse, 4 horse, 5 horses, right? Well, each one had 4 legs. So I'm going to put 4 in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are their legs, right? So this one has 4, plus 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 4 more. Right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 4. So when I come back down here, I've got 5 groups of 4. And when I add all that together, I know that 4 plus 4 is 8, 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 4 more. Well, 8 and 8 is 16. 6 plus 4 gets me to a 10 with that 10. So 16 and 4 more is 20. So 5 groups of 4 is 20. I can also write that as 5 groups of equals 20, right? Let's try another one. Sometimes you might see this as something we call an array. An array is like a big box of boxes. So you might see something like, let me get a better marker, like this, where it's divided like this. Okay, and so I'm going to look and count my groups. Well, I know that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 here, so there's 4 here, 4 here, and 4 here. So there's 4 rows here. Well, I can also count this way. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So this is called a 4 by 4, or 4 groups of 4, right? Because that's a group of 4, group of 4, group of 4, group of 4. And if you turn it the other way, those are also groups of 4. So 4 groups of 4. When I add that together, 4 and 4 is 8. 4 and 4 is 8 more. So altogether, 4 groups of 4 is 16. That's another way to look at it, right? This week you're going to see a game that looks like this. You can use dice. It says use dice. If you don't have dice, you could use playing cards and flip over too. But the point is, when you flip over, you're going to have 2 different numbers. The first number is going to be your number of groups. The second number is going to be the amount in each group. So if I roll the dice and I get 3 on my first dice, and then I roll the dice and I get 5 on my second dice, this is going to be 3 groups of 5. 3 groups of 5 is what? And then you're going to model it like I did. You can use a picture. You can use beans. You can use counters. You can use whatever you've got at your house. So 3 groups. 1, 2, 3 of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 in each group. So that looks like 5 plus 5 plus 5. See how I have 3 5s. Well, 5 and 5 is 10, and 5 more is, yep, you're right, 15. 3 groups of 5 is 15. So that's one way you can practice this week, all right? I've also included a couple of practice pages if you're interested. Those are completely optional. You can print them out, or you can look at them online and answer the questions on a whiteboard, a piece of paper, with sidewalk chalk, whatever you've got. But this week, at the beginning of the week, the goal is to practice these multiplication situations. Once you've done that, you know on abca.com and other Math Playground, other sites that we use, multiplication is something that you might want to start practicing. In 3rd grade, you'll learn all your multiplication facts, kind of like we learned our addition facts in 2nd grade. But for now, we're just trying to get an understanding of what multiplication means. It means counting equal groups of something. All right. I can't wait to hear about some other multiplication situations that you might know of at your house. Have a great day.